So again, not we will get not the volume, but we are to get the lateral area since mag-paint man ta. So the lateral area S is given by the formula 1/2 perimeter times the slant height. So to get the perimeter, we have base edge is 8 feet. So kani 8 feet ni. So kay hexagon man, pila ka sides ang hexagon? That is 6. So that is 8 times 6. So that is 48. 48 feet. Ano tong perimeter. Now the slant height, this is our slant height. Kani. For this one. So if this is our altitude, this is, let's just try to draw this one. This is our slant height. This is our altitude. Given ang altitude no sa pyramid to be 75 feet. And kani siya nga part here class is kaning isa ka triangle. Ang iyahan ni siyang dinhi. Kani. So kani o slant height. Okay, nakuha ninyo. And so if we try to solve for the slant height, we have now kani kuhaon sa ni nato first. Pila man ni siya nga length. So for this length, let us imagine kani isa ka triangle na pod wherein kana siya mao ni siya kani. And so in sa atong base ang atong kani nga angle circular, the round one is 360 degrees. Kung divide nato by 6, so therefore that is 60. So kani siya 60 ni siya kada triangle, kani 60 60 60. Unya kay gitunga pa man gyud nato, so therefore this angle right here is 30. And this is 90 degrees, so therefore this is 60. No? Ala. So kani siya ato pa gyud siyang ipadako ha. This is now 60, this is 30, and this is 90. Kana siya gikan dinhi mao ni atong gipadako pa jud nato siya. So kung this is ano ba to? This is 8. Unya kay gitunga man nato siya, therefore 4 na siya, 4 sa ni. So this is 4. Unya if we try to solve for this x kani siya, gamitan ni nato siya og sine, the law, sine law. So 4 over sine 30, opposite na siya sa angle opposite sa 4, is equal to x over sine of the angle opposite to x. This is the angle opposite to x, so sine 60. This is 60. So therefore our x now is 4 sine 60 divided by sine 30. So x 6.9. So 6.9 ni 6.9. Therefore masolve na to ang slant height by using the Pythagorean theorem. So slant height now L squared is equal to 75 squared minus 6.9 squared. So L is equal to 75.32 feet. Okay, so from the formula sa S is equal to 1/2 P perimeter times the slant height. 1/2 the perimeter is 48 times the slant height nga na-solve nato 75.32. So our lateral area is 1807.66 feet squared. So we will convert feet squared into yard squared. So this is 3 feet is 1 yard. Nya kay square man na siya, so we will square this. So 1807.66 divided by 9 because 3 squared is 9. So makancel mo ang feet squared. Your answer now is in yard squared. Palihog ko sila. 85 yard squared. Now to get the total cost, the final answer should be the total cost. 200.85 yard squared times 0.22 cents per yard squared. So cancel out yard squared. The total cost now is $44.19. This is now the final answer. Okay. Similar figures. So by definition, similar polyhedrons are polyhedrons that have the same number of faces, respectively similar and similarly placed, and have their corresponding polyhedral angles equal. Corresponding lines of similar figures are proportional. So similar. So it is important that paing kag similar ni ones, ang iyahang corresponding lines are proportional. No? So as you can see, proportional lang siya, but ang size lang ang nagmatter. So one could be smaller than one could be bigger. So we have here the relations sa iyahang volumes and iyahang areas. So the areas of similar plane figures or similar surfaces have the same ratio as the squares of any two corresponding lines. Okay, so again, considering the areas of two figures, small s and capital S, and then the corresponding lines po niya x, small x or and capital X. So you could also use S1 or A1, A2, then X1, X2 para mas madali. And then the volume po, we have two figures. We have V, small v and capital V, or you could also make use of tangtag kani-kani ato ni siyang A1 over A2 and X1 squared over X2 squared. Then for this volume niya, we have two figures V1, V2, then X1 cube over X2 cube. So this is wrong. This should be cube. Volume naman na siya. Okay? Please correct your notes. Okay, so segment pod, corresponding line segment. So of course, proportional siya. This is just the ratio and proportion. Okay, so let us try to solve this sample problem. A cube of ice is 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. So since we have a cube, when you say cube, the dimensions, the length, width, and the height are all equal. The ice melts with it. The ice melts with it become. The ice melts until it becomes a cube, which is 1/2 as heavy as the original. Find the dimensions of the new cube. Okay, so the volume is na half po siya. So from that, So, of course, nigamay siya kaning melt na siya, no? So, we are to get the dimension of the new cube, or, like, for example, ang edge niya here is 2 feet. So, pila naman ang edge niya, ani. Okay, so from the relation, we have the formula. V1 over V2 is equal to x1 cube over x2 cube. So, this is our x2, this is our v1, this is our v2. v1, di ba ang giingon is ma 1/2 siya. So, ang v2 na to is 1/2 of v1. So, v1 over, this is v1 over 2. That is our v2. Is equal to, our x1 is 2. 2, can you see? This is our x1. Cube over x2 cube. So 1 divided by 1/2. What is the answer? This is cancelled. So 1 divided by 1/2 is 2. Is equal to 8 over x2 cube. So x2 cube therefore is equal to 8 divided by 2. Or x2 now is equal to the cube root of 4. Or that is 1.5874. So this is now the dimension of an edge. No? Can you see x2? So our new dimension is 1.5874. So mali na itong gipangita. This is feet. Okay. Feet. Next, let us have the conical surface. So a cone. A cone. So I guess we're familiar with the cone, form as a cone. A cone, by definition, a cone is a solid bounded by a conical surface. So our lateral surface is kana nakapalibot sa tuang cone, kani siya. Whose directrix is a closed curve and a plane which cuts all the elements. So this is our base. And the altitude of the cone is a perpendicular drop from the vertex. This is our vertex to the base. Again, perpendicular na siya to the base ang ato ang altitude or the height of our cone. Okay, we have here the formulas. So, the same ra gyapon. The formula of the volume of the cone is equal to 1/3 the area of the base times height. Okay, let us answer problem number 1. The crater of a volcano is approximately in the shape of a cone of base 3.1416 square miles. The crater's depth is 1,500 feet. 1,500 feet. How many cubic yards of earth would be required to fill this cavity? So, sa ipangita nga problem, of course, the volume, but the volume should be in cubic yards. So, volume is 1/3 base times height. Base times height. Now, the base is given to be, this is now the area of the base given, 3.1416 miles squared. And then our height Naman pa din, gihatag na sad siya. 1,500 feet. So, direct substitution ba din yun? We have 1/3, but it should be, ang kani siya is in square miles and kani in feet. So, we will convert this square miles, 1/3. Our base is 3.1416 square miles. So, kaning miles, convert na to siya to feet. So, 1 mile is 5 to 80 feet. Unya, square pa yun. Kay square man siya, so square pa yun eh. So, this is our base. Then, our height is 1,500 feet. Okay. So, you must know the conversion factor or else bisan pag direct substitution lang siya niya, wrong man yung mga units. Of course, marong dyan yung mga final answer. So, cancel out miles squared. So, this one class, this is 3.1416 times 5 to 80 squared. Then times 1,500, and then divided by 3. So, this is now feet squared times feet. So, your answer now is in cubic feet. So, we have 4, dako kay siya, 379 times 10 to the power 10. And so, we are to find the answer in cubic yards. So, we have 3 feet is 1 yard. And then, square man na siya, cube man na siya. So, cube that. So, that is 4.379 times 10 to the power 10 divided by 3 cube. 3 cube is 27. So, the final answer now would be 16.219 times 10 to the power 8. Volcano mo din itong isbutan bantong ka. Cubic yard. Okay. Another example. A conical pile of sand 6 feet in height has a volume of 27 cubic feet. If the bottom of the pile is on level ground, how much ground does it cover? So, pile of sand. Cone. Samahan na. If our sand, ang height, niya is 6 feet, then the volume is given 27 cubic feet. Ang gipangitaan niya is kani siya. How much ground does it cover? So, from the formula sa volume, that is 1/3 base times height. So, kani nga base may gipangita. So, base is equal to 3V over height. That is 27 cubic feet. Divided by 3B. Divided by height na 6 feet. So, the base now is equal to 13.5 feet squared. Okay. Mali lang. Next one is the right circular cone. I guess this is the last one. A right circular cone is a circular cone whose axis is perpendicular to its base. So, ang ihang axis ko na perpendicular to its base. So, this one. So, kanin siya ba? Ay, sorry. Kanin siya, perpendicular to the base. So, kung mag-drop ka, perpendicular drop, mo hit siya sa center of your base. This is, again, this is our slant height L. And then, this is our height. And then, this is the radius of the base. Ang circumference sa base is 2 pi r. So, this one is kani siya gilaid out na to ang kaning circle nga base. So that this Ganesha length is actually 2 pi r. That is the circumference of the base. So the lateral area, when we say the lateral area is kani siya nga area. Kani 1/2 circumference of the base times the slant height. So this is the slant height, kani siya. This is the slant height, this one. And the circumference of the base is kani siya. 2 is equal to 2 pi r. Kani siya nga, kani siya ba? Kani siya nga length, 2 pi r. So again, lateral area is 1/2 circumference of the base times slant height, and the volume still the same formula, 1/3 base times height. Again, 1/3 of the base times height. Example number 1. Write the formula for the volume of a right circular cone in terms of the radius of the base r and the altitude h. So volume is given to be 1/3 base times height, and then our base is circle man, right circular cone, circle. So area of the base nato is pi r squared. So pi r squared times height. So maoro mo siya ni. Yeah, maoro ni gipangitaan nga problem. So tagaan ka og value sa height and value sa the radius sa base. So you can solve it using this formula. Example number 2, the liquid content of a glass is in the form of a cone of base diameter 3 inches. If the glass contains 10 fluid ounce and 1 fluid ounce equals 1.805 cubic inches, what is the greatest depth of the liquid? So we are given the conversion factor for the volume. 1 ounce is 1.805 cubic inch. So by the way, kung sa pangitaan nga problem, we are given the diameter sa base to be 3 inches. Okay. What is the greatest depth? H. Ipangita ang H. So, if the glass contains 10 fluid ounce, so the volume is 10 ounce. Convert na to ni siya. So, 1 ounce is 1.805 cubic inch. Therefore, the volume now is 18, of course, 18.05 cubic inches. Ang gipangita is height, so volume is 1/3 base times height, so height may gipangita, or that is the depth no, kagibali man siya, 3v over the base. 3 times 18.05 inches cube over area of the base. Base na to is circular, so formula for the area of circle, pi r squared or pi d squared over 4 kung atong gamiton is the diameter. Pi d squared over 4. Ano sa to? Pi r squared or pi d squared over 4. So that is the area of the circle. So the height now, and now your answer, 7.66 inch. Yes. So maoro man nagibang ito. Okay. I guess that this is the last example. The upper portion of a surveyed glass is in the form of a right circular cone with a base of radius 2 inches. This one is 2 inches. And a slant height of 4. This is your slant height 4. Find the volume of liquid it contains, A, when full, and letter B, when filled to a depth of 3 inches. So letter A, find the volume when full. So volume is 1/3 base times height. Our height now, so our base is kani siya, no? 2 ang radius. So, our height, kani siya nga height is wala ta kay baw. But this one is 4 and this one is 2. So, kuha na to si height using the formula sa Pythagorean. Height squared is equal to hypotenuse. Sorry. This is your right angle. This is our hypotenuse 4. So, 4 squared minus 2 squared. Okay. So, h therefore is the square root of 4 squared minus 2 squared, which is 2 square root of 3. So, volume is 1/3. Area of the base circle man siya ng so pi 2 squared times the height, which is 2 square root of 3. So, that is 4 pi over 3 times 2 square root of 3. 14.51 cubic inches. This is the volume of the Sherbet glass when filled to the brim. So if it is full. Now, if it is filled to a depth of 3 inches, so ani taman? 3 inches lang ang height sa liquid. So, gikan sa vertex nila. So, since maka-create ka og similar figures, ang first is the cone sa dihang full siya. Ang second is kani siya nga cone, another cone sa dihang mga to ang depth or the height na to is just 3 inches. So we will use the concept sa similar figures. So V1, let us consider the V1 as the bigger V1 kani siya, the smaller V1 over V2 cone. Is equal to x, diba this is equal to x1 cube over x2 cube. So our volume 1 is 14.51. Find the volume V2. Our x1, so let us consider ang height. Ang height sa bigger cone is 2 square root of 3. Kanya, i-cube na siya class, no? Cube over the height of the smaller cone, which is 3 cube. Okay? So, ang height ang atong the height of the bigger cone, then the height of the smaller cone created. So, nakuha na to si volume 2. That is 14.53 times 3 cube divided by 2 square root of 3 cube. So that your answer now is 3 pi, or that is 9.4248. Okay. So that is the final answer. So that is all.